Do you want to find out how you can make the best return on your ad spend if you're running Google Ads or Bing Ads for your limo company and you're not doing this? You're leaving a lot of money on the table. And I will tell you one thing, nobody is doing this right now in the limo industry. And if there are any companies doing it, it's going to be the massive companies like the Black Lanes, the Charter Ups that are online marketing companies. They are not really like a limo company. They're more like a booking.com. And so in this video, I'm going to show you how those guys are likely running their ads and handling their attribution. And by the end of the video, you're going to see how you can actually see the exact amount of money each keyword in your Google or Bing ads account is making for you. Now, attribution is a really fancy way of saying, where are my bookings coming from? And you can really dig down into the weeds. But the nice thing about the limo industry is most people are following a pretty simple path. In my industry, someone could see me on Facebook, then they Google limo marketer, then they watch some YouTube videos, and then they go to my website, and it's this long, complex path. Now, I'm not saying that doesn't happen for limo companies, but it's usually much simpler. And that's one reason I love doing this industry, and really any simple local service-based business is it's so simple. The marketing funnel is really just ad on Google to landing page or website, and that's really it. And then they fill out the form or they give you a call, and then you try to convert that lead into a customer. And so for the past 7 years at Limo Marketer, what we've been trying to do is we've been trying to get our clients more quality leads. Very important there, more quality leads for the amount they're spending. And most of our clients are spending around $3,000 to $4,000 a month on ads. And what we've been doing for a very long time is just trying to get them as many leads as possible for that spend. And so Google has a certain type of bid strategy in Google AdWords. It's called maximize conversions. Another word for it is target CPA. What you're essentially doing, they're very similar. What you're essentially doing is you're letting Google do the bidding for each keyword. So inside of a Google Ads account, and I know I said this would get a little technical, guys, inside a Google Ads account, and let's go ahead and do that right now, this info here, but inside the Google Ads account, typically next to each keyword, you are going to see an actual bid. Now that is unless you are running maximize conversions or target CPA account. And this is the strategy we've been using at Limo Marketer now for over a year, where we've seen superior results by letting Google and their AI handle keyword bidding at the individual level. Not only does it take us less time, but the results are even better when we do this. Now, the problem with doing it this way, and I've always known this was the issue, is not every single conversion. So conversion is a fancy word for a form lead, or it could be a phone call. And there's other conversion types, but I don't want to make it more complex. So let's just talk about conversions as if someone fills out a form on your website and submits a quote, or someone gives you a call. Those are the two types. And the bid strategy, maximize conversions, that we have set up for our clients is telling Google, okay, here's our budget. Let's say it's $2,000 a month or $3,000 a month. Given our current setup and the keywords we have, the targeting we have, please get us the maximum number of leads you can get us within this $3,000 a month budget, let's say. And so then Google's AI goes about trying to find the best times and places to show your ads to people who have the highest chance of giving you a call or filling out a form. And so I've always known that this is more than most do. Probably at least 90% of Google Ads accounts in this industry are not even doing that. And so they're just really throwing away money. But I've always known that is incomplete, that is really not the most valuable possible bid strategy. The most valuable bid strategy would be return on ad spend bidding. And that means telling Google, please make me as much money as possible for every dollar I put in. Try to give me the highest multiple back. And so this is what all e-commerce stores do. They all use return on ad spend bidding because they've got a closed loop. What that means is someone clicks on the ad, they go online and they buy something, right? And it's all done online. And the beauty of that is we can track that purchase back to a keyword. Now, it gets more complex than that with e-commerce because, of course, the attribution, did it come from Facebook? Did they then do a search on Google? It can get very complex, but the great thing about e-commerce is they're purchasing that online, and so you get that data very easily. Now, the issue with this industry is we do not get that data easily. The only way we can get that data, and so there's online booking softwares that have the potential to do this. But if you're not using something like that, and those might be great for, black car operators or someone who has a very simple pickup and drop off. But if it's, let's say, a wedding, or let's say it's something like a multi-stop route, then that doesn't always make sense. And sometimes you actually need to, pick up the phone and speak with someone. But the problem then becomes, how do we do the return on ad spend bidding with a service-based business? So instead of telling the algorithm, here's my budget, $3,000 a month, and let's say last month I made $12,000, now I'm going to switch over to this new bidding because I'm giving it all of the right data, how much each keyword is making for us. It can eventually figure out, given enough data, given maybe $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 worth of quotes, it's just going to get better and better at seeing the most valuable potential leads, right? Because think about how much information Google has on all of these, on most people who have Google accounts. They have tremendous amounts of data, more than we could ever see, even given all the data we already have. What I've been wanting to do for years, and I think now it's finally to a point where it's possible, is, so long as our clients are updating their CRMs, is actually being able to grab this data that we're accruing using the CRM and grabbing the data from our conversions and putting that form conversion data and the call conversion data together. So let me show you guys what I'm talking about here. Those are the two main lead types, right? There's forms and there's phone calls. And so first off, how do we unlock this data? And the data I'm really speaking about is we want what's called the G-CLID, the Google Click ID. So every single time you click on a Google ad, that click gets a unique identifier, and these identifiers are very long. Let me show you an example here. Let's go to leads, and then let's go ahead and scroll over here. Let's scroll over. Okay, see this here? These are the click IDs. So each one of these leads, not only can we see the keyword, which is great and all, but we get the Google Click ID. And what we also have here, these are form leads, is the person's email address, their phone number, okay? So we can tie their email and phone number to their actual click. Now, all we need is data from the CRM, and we use high level at this agency, to match up that Google Click ID with the actual quote itself. Okay, so for instance, I'm going to look at, let's say this person here, his name is Heinz. So let's go into this high level account here and let's look at Heinz. the funny thing is, so this person is a brand new lead. He just got quoted $362. Now, once my client updates this in high level, it's going to show that this person was quoted $362 with this Google Click ID. We're going to have his email, the time the quote form came in, the Google Click ID, and then the actual value of that lead. Now, I'm going to be grabbing the values of everyone my client quotes, not just the ones that book, every single person that is quoted, because what I want to see is, and what we want to see is over time, which keywords are leading to the highest value quotes. And so let me give you an example here. So let me just say I pick some random keyword here. I'm doing the last 30 days of data. Let's say it's, Limo Calgary, right? And so it says, 26 conversions with a cost per conversion of $24 Canadian. Well, that's the cost of that lead. And I can go segment here and I can actually see what type of leads it's counting. And of course, we're always counting their form leads. Online call tracking, this is when they go to the actual landing page itself and make a call from there. The number switches out. We're using call tracking metrics for that. And then calls from ads, that's actually a phone call that's placed directly from the Google search result page. So if someone does a search on their phone, many times they will actually literally call the number before even going to the website. They'll call the number on the ad. And so that's what is considered calls from ads. So how this account is working now and how all of our other accounts work is we bid using maximized conversions. And as you can see, this keyword, the cost per conversion on it is about 24 Canadian. Now, his account overall is 21 Canadian, but that's over all of his keywords. Now, what I want to know is, I don't want to know how much each conversion costs. I want to know how much each conversion is worth. I want to know the conversion value. So if you go here, modify columns, and by the way, this is something we're just implementing now, but if I go to conversions and I go to, conversion value here. So right now it's just counting phone calls as one as a conversion value. This is going to change. So what it should be showing us here is an actual dollar amount. So what we'll actually get to see is, okay, so out of these 26 conversions, the 22 form leads were worth a total of, let's say, $12,000. And the 3 phone calls were worth a total of, let's say, $1,200. And this call was worth a total of $500 or whatever it might be. And then overall, these 26 conversions were worth like $14,000 or $15,000. And since there were 26, you do some quick math and you say, okay, so this keyword, the average conversion value, this keyword is, let's say $600 or $700. But let's say over, 2 or 3 months, we start looking and we'll start noticing some keywords, their conversion value, even though it's a very similar keyword, could be much, much less or maybe much, much more. So for instance, on this keyword in the past month, we've spent 645 Canadian, and let's say the total value was, like I was saying, around 15,000. What matters there is that multiple, right? Just doing some quick math, that would be, if it was 15,000, that would be close to 25 times, right? And I'm not saying that's what it would be, but what we're trying to figure out is which keywords have the highest multiples. What keywords are leading to the highest value quotes? And so for you black car guys, we might find certain keywords just have a higher chance of being hourly quote requests, because generally hourly is going to be most of the time better than an airport pickup and drop off, right? If someone needs an SUV for 6 hours, that quote might be $1,000 or $900, whereas an airport transfer might only be $200. And so over time, the more data we accrue of this conversion value data, the more valuable and the better ROI Google will be able to get, because we're going to tell the AI that controls the bidding, I want you to bid to maximize conversion value. instead of maximizing the total number of conversions. Okay, so I know that's super complex, guys, and I hope you followed me there. And so it's really simple to set this up. Let me show you guys real quick. So the easiest way to set this up is go into your Google Ads account. I want you to go to admin and then account settings. So what we're talking about here is the tracking here. And so you can do this at the account level or you can do it at the campaign level. I recommend just do it at the account level. We actually do ours on the campaign level, but it's not entirely necessary for you guys. So feel free to do it on the account level by just going to admin, account settings, and then tracking. And then in here, you're going to paste this in here. And so I'm going to paste that for you guys so you can see this. And I'll put this in the description of the video. You're going to paste this into your final URL suffix. And so what this is going to do is it's going to grab, let me explain what these things are. So the medium, it means it's CPC, that just pretty much means you're doing cost per click. The campaign is going to have the campaign ID. It's going to have the UTM content is the ad group ID. It's going to fill in here. UTM term is the actual keyword, which is valuable. But the most important thing of all of this is it's going to grab the GCLID or Google Click ID. And this is the most important thing because this is what is going to get matched up with the person's email address. And once you have this all in a CSV, you can upload all of this data. Now there's certain other fields you need. You need to have the date and time. You need the conversion name. But once you have all of this, you can upload it on a CSV and upload it into your Google Ads account. And even if this data is several months, like you have months worth of data, which we do on most of our accounts now, we can grab this data and update all of the conversion values in Google Ads. And it's going to give updated numbers so we can actually see what these conversions are worth. So that's the first step. You have to go into your Google Ads account and paste in that tracking template and hit save. Next, you have to go to your landing page builder or your WordPress website, whatever it is you're using, and you need to add hidden fields. Now, for us on Unbounce, it's easy to do, but you need to name the fields the same things as what is in the URL. So UTM source, that needs to be its own field. UTM campaign, UTM content, UTM term, and most importantly, the GCLID, the Google Click ID, okay? Once you add those hidden fields, so they're hidden, no one's going to see them, but when someone clicks on your Google ad and goes to the page, those hidden fields will automatically be filled out. And I'm not going to click on anyone's ad right now, guys, but if you ever do, I wouldn't recommend clicking on someone's ad so you can see this, but you can tell the businesses that have this set up because if you click on their ad, which again, I don't want a bunch of people going to do right now, but it will show you a very long URL. Now, if it just shows you the URL to their website or landing page, they don't have this tracking set up. Granted, most agencies set this up, but they're not actually using that data. They're collecting it, but they're not using it to make the campaigns better. And I can't talk because we've been collecting it for a while now and not using it, but I'm very excited about having this data because I can go back and grab all of it and put it all together now. And we're going forward for our clients that are keeping their CRMs updated, we are going to start importing all of this data so that we can really get our clients a better return on ad spend. So that's all you need to do for form fields. You need UTM parameters in Google Ads, number one. You need to create hidden fields on your form. And then for phone calls, so this is something that I didn't even realize that we already had the data for, but of course we did. So we use call tracking metrics. So really quick, how it works is someone clicks on your ad on Google and they land on your landing page or website. And what it does is it switches out the phone number that you have on your website or landing page for a tracking number. Okay. Then they call that number and call tracking metrics, in this case, there's CallRail, there's lots of others. They use the UTM parameter thing too. So it's grabbing the Google Click ID of that phone call. So the beautiful thing here is you actually see you can connect the phone number with the Google Click ID, and that's what we need. I'll show you an example. So here's an example of a phone call that came in to our client CRM. It was almost 3 minutes long, right? If we go down here, we've got the keyword here. The Google Click ID is in here in the back end. I don't have it showing you as a field right here. This is something that we've been grabbing all along. And the funny thing is, I actually didn't even realize that we now have a complete picture, and we've had one for a while. I just wasn't putting it all together. This might sound very complex, but for e-commerce people, they all do this because it's so important, because you can actually see at the keyword level what keywords are making you the most money. And again, that's important because you give that data to Google's AI and it learns over time what are your most valuable keywords. So it bids the highest on those, so that when that who only flies private, who flies, every week of the year, his executive assistant is on Google doing a search, it's going to bid for that number one position to show your ad to them. That's just kind of a example of why it's so valuable to have this. And so it's been collecting all of this data, the Google Click ID, their phone number. And so what we've done is using Zapier, when there's a new call and call tracking metrics, that's, from our client's Google Ads account, we grab that data, that phone number, and really it's just the phone number and Google Click ID. We grab the keyword as well, as you saw in high level, and we push that data into high level right here, and we update that contact. And then, of course, we grab the data from Unbounce here and Zapier. We do a quick filter here. That's I won't get into why we do this because it's not relevant, but we do a quick filter here, and then we either create a new contact or we update current contact if this person is a repeat customer. And so it puts their form data with the Google Click ID into high level, because again, the goal here is, so let me just do the past. Okay, perfect. We're doing the past 7 days. The data we need here, and this client's doing a really great job of keeping theirs updated, is the value of the lead, essentially. So you see all these dollar values here. That's really what we need. Now, I thought maybe we should just input it when they've actually booked that job. But the more I thought about it, the more I thought, no, I want to upload all of the quote data, because if they quoted this person, they could have booked it, right? And really what I want to know is, I want the most data possible, and I want to know over time which keywords are leading to the highest dollar quotes. Now, you could argue that doesn't mean the most profitable quotes, but this is far better than trying to get Google to optimize for how many leads it gets you. Because what we found out over and over at Limo Marketer is, for our clients, they just want high quality leads. They don't even care as much about what a lead costs. They want the best leads possible. And our clients, and I'm sure most of you watching this, would you prefer getting 100 leads and closing 1 out of 5, so 20 jobs? Or would you prefer getting 50 leads and closing the same 20 jobs, right? And so closing 40% of your leads. I think everyone, given that they're the same value, would prefer getting less leads, but booking a higher percentage of them, right? The thing people don't like, I've found, our clients and really everyone, is all of the back and forth. And that's why everyone's trying to automate a lot of this. But here's the thing, you guys are in a luxury industry and you want to offer white glove service. And sure, online booking, that might make sense for an airport transfer, which is so simple. But for anything bigger, when you really want to connect with the client, many times you do have to pick up the phone and speak with them. And so just really excited about what this is going to do, I believe, in the coming months for our clients, because we already have this data. Now it's just about getting all of it together and getting our client accounts, and we're going to obviously start with our clients who've been keeping their CRMs updated, getting this data into their Google Ads accounts, and then setting up the bidding that will allow Google to get us the highest return on ad spend. So that's really it, guys. You set up the Zaps to input all the data from call tracking metrics, from Unbounce or landing page builder into the CRM. And then the last step is really just downloading. Now, this is where I can't really show you what to do because you might use high-level HubSpot, Salesforce, Infusionsoft, ActiveCampaign. There's so many softwares, but really what we're trying to download here is really just the Google Click ID, the lead value, right? What you quoted them. You need the name of the conversion. So, this client's got 3 different conversion names. Submit lead form, calls from ads, having the conversion name, and then the date and time of that conversion. And so I hope you guys followed along, and I know most of you won't be able to maybe follow this or set it up yourselves because I know it gets pretty technical, but for those of you who spend the time to set this up, I promise you, after you have a few months of data, I am very confident this is going to be a massive game changer and could easily increase your ROI by 50% or more. Now, again, I shouldn't make these claims yet because we have not fully implemented this yet, but we have all of the data and we're piecing it all together for our clients. And so I'm going to report back in a few months on what kind of improvement we've seen. Look, there's a reason all e-commerce agencies and big e-commerce brands, they all use this kind of bidding because it's the best, because you're asking Google to not optimize for the most number of leads. You're asking Google to optimize for making you the most money. And they just have so much data on everyone. So anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope it was helpful. I hope you learned something. And I will see you guys on next week's video.